Sleeping in the FJ Cruiser, this uneven part of the trunk sucks and hurts your back. This is how I made a solution. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Apollo and this is my 2012 FJ Cruiser. I like to film whatever happens, randomness in my life, and FJ mods or things that I do with the FJ for something that I could look back to in the future. So fun story is that my first camping trip was with Jay and I did not have anything. I had the FJ completely how I got it from the buyer, and I raw dogged sleeping in this uneven trunk, and hold and behold, when I woke up in the morning, my back I could definitely feel my back aching a little bit from the unevenness. So for the next trip that I did camping is I made sure I purchased this Japanese futon that you guys could see in my trunk. And what I did was kind of fold, because it's a little longer than the trunk, I folded it in itself to kind of make this part of the trunk a little more cushiony. And that definitely was 100 times better than what I had to just raw dog in this thing. But I did still feel that unevenness by a little bit. So this is how I ended up fixing the situation. So luckily I had scrap pieces of wood when I built the house, the house's closet system. I have 1/2 inch plywood as scrap, and these kind of fit perfectly, coincidentally, fit perfectly for the FJ. This is what I'm talking about as perfect fit. I don't know how this was maybe a coincidence or it was meant to happen, but this, as you can see, fits perfectly as width for the FJ Cruiser. So the dimensions of one piece is 11 by 3/8. So you could probably do 11.5 to make it easier. And the length of it is 42 inches. So you need 3 pieces of these, and this is a 1/2 inch thick plywood. You could use 3/4, but this is what I had, luckily, so I just used it. I bought some carpet from Home Depot, sprayed adhesive, wrapped it, and after all that, you would end up in having this. So this is 3 pieces of that 1/2 inch, 11.5, 11 3/8 by 42, wrapped in carpet. I have the hinges, so I will get into that in a little bit. But quick note, the height that you are trying to compensate, so take note of this, is very important. The height that you are trying to compensate is 2.75 inches. So you need 2.75 inches to make it level to the seats folded. So you could either do 2.75 inch of a table folded in here or something, but that is the height that you need to make it level, your platform level with the seats. So for the base, I have here 1x3s, 3 pieces. I believe they're cut to 25 inches. And you stack 3 of them next to each other. I used a nail gun to put them together. So if you guys didn't know, a 1x3 actual dimension is 2.5 by 75 or 0.75 or 1/4 inch. So 1/4 inch times 3, that ends up being 2.25 in height. As I mentioned a while ago, the height that you're trying to get to is 2.75. So 2.25 plus a 1/2 inch plywood, that ends up 2.75 in total. So these are just my bases. Let me show you guys how this thing is set up. So your bases, the 2.25 1x3s stack with each other. You just put them on either side. And then what I did was I added hinges both on the back side and the front side right here to kind of make it like an accordion panel. So how I actually set this up is you could do this. So what's nice about the carpet is even if I'm hitting the edges like that, I know I'm not scratching my panels. So you just push right there, and that is it. So I made sure that the one that folds into itself, and you could show the hinge, is the one that I use for the feet, because I probably don't mind feeling this. I don't even think I would be able to feel this part with the futon underneath me or a sleeping bag. So this really doesn't matter to me. There's some kids playing around, so that's the kind of the noise that you could hear in the back. And a little windy. Hopefully the wind isn't too noisy in the microphone. But as I mentioned, I made sure that the hinges right here, in case I feel this with the sleeping bag, I don't think you do, but this folds up, so that helps a lot. That also that the hinge right here is set up this way, not on the other side like this, because this folds up inward. It's nice that that is that way because you could also lift this. It's easier to stuff things underneath. And with that being said, because this is a 1/2 inch plywood, it would actually not hold the weight that well. So you actually need a support, an additional support here. So I would recommend doing 3 of these if you don't think you're putting anything in here. Right now I have something temporary. I ran out of 1x3s. These 2 are just a total of 2 8-foot 1x3s, and I ran out. So I added another piece of 1/2 inch plywood to them. So this is technically 2.5 thick, which is good enough. As I mentioned right there, that kind of just holds the weight. It will flex a little bit, but I'm not that concerned because I only sleep here really when I'm camping. Then whatever things I put in the trunk shouldn't be that heavy. So on my end, I just ordered a foldable table on Amazon that fits in between right here perfectly. I think the dimensions for the inside is 27.5 by 25, and this is 2 inches. So just a side note or a quick note, you could do 1/4 inch plywood as your platform top, but just take note that you will lose another 1/4 inch of clearance for things to stuff underneath. So it was actually hard for me to find a 2-inch height table, a table that folds a total of 2 inches, but you could also put like something like a blanket or really anything, or you could just keep this underneath and just live with this small compartment. The only thing with stuffing blankets or something that you need for sleep is if you're gonna go to sleep and you pull those out, then you don't have anything there anymore. So that's the other thing with my table that I ordered is if I set up that table in camp, before I sleep, I have to take that down and stuff it back in here if I really want that support. Or I could just keep this in my car and have that on there ready whenever I need it to. So that's really that. This is the table I bought from Amazon, and in theory, it should fit perfect. There we go. That should keep it much more steady, and then I should have still some space here to put something. I might flip it just because this is thicker. There we go. So now that doesn't really have any flex. Okay, so lastly I have these turnbuckles attached to a D-hook. I think this is actually for a picture frame hook on Home Depot. So I added that on the underside, and this turnbuckle, basically you could pull your platform forward, hook the 2 turnbuckles to your anchor points on the FJ. It's the other one right there. And then you can just slide this back out. There we go. So this kind of just gives me a little bit of peace of mind. You don't have to really do that. It should be good, especially if you have stuff on top of it. But this just kind of gives you peace of mind that this would not go forward. Let's say if for a sudden stop or a collision, this wouldn't really fly too far. So the last thing I want to do for this vlog is install a rear door latch so that I could open this rear door from the inside while I'm sleeping in the FJ. That kind of just really finalizes or gets me all set for my sleeping situation in the FJ Cruiser whenever I'm camping. So if you guys didn't know, you could not open this door from the inside. So there is this mod that will allow us to open the rear door from the inside. So the first step for this is we would need to take out the door panel right here. Just a reminder that you need the window open to be able to release this. And then there's just clips around here that you need to pull out. For me, I need to take out the bolts of this moldy panel up top and then pull out the clips and take off the door panel. So that is the first step. So with all that out of my way, let me show you guys what came in. This is a 3D printed kit, actually from one of our FJ owners that's in the FJ Cruiser forums named Dallas Sterling. You would just have to send him a message there and he will ship this out for you. He communicates very well. I love the service that he gave me and it shipped very fast. So this is kind of the 3D printed kit, and I will also link down below the instructions or the YouTube video that he has showing the install of this. But this is the experience that I will go through installing it. I also have to install this a little faster because it actually is 6:51 and the sunlight is going down, or I'm losing sunlight by the minute. So let's go ahead and install that really quick. So I believe I would need to cut a little gap here in my plastic. I think. Hopefully that's all I need to cut out. And then this piece right here will attach to the other metal piece right in here. So let me try to go a little closer for you guys. Yep, so this piece should attach. As you guys can see, it kind of has that groove in there. That groove should just attach like this to that metal piece. I might have to make this opening a little bigger, but let's go ahead and attach this. It should attach from here, and I just need to push it all the way down. And then, as you guys can see, it has the groove for the other metal rod, but it also has two grooves right here. So that's what the zip ties are for. So it kind of just acts as a kind of like a second level of safety that it would stay on there. So those two zip ties would just line up perfectly over here. So hopefully it focuses well for you guys. So let me install that because it is hard to do it with one hand. Here is the close-up shot. That is the mechanism right here. And then now we have to install this part. So the handle is going to be exactly to where this piece is. So you want to take that out. Super easy with a flathead or a knife. That's out there. And then we would have to assemble the two pieces. All right, so I believe you want to put this piece in from the inside, and then make sure that the hole at the bottom, this hole where you see how it has three walls, the opening should be at the bottom, facing at the bottom. Don't put it all the way because you won't be able to get it out. And then this right here should be your handle. Kind of just put them together. So it's getting a little darker, as I mentioned. I was a little in a time crunch because of the sunlight, and for some reason the street lamp is not turned on yet. But anyway, once you get these together in the track, you should have a little bit of play that you could have up and down. And then from here, you just want to make sure that this rod aligns with that hole. And then once that's all good, you should be able to pop all the clips in. There goes the light. Didn't help too much. As you guys can see, I can press that down, and you see it moves as I pull from the other side. So let me try locking it from the inside. I apologize for the grain, but here is the test from the inside of the FJ. There we go. So we could open it from the inside. Thank you guys for watching. That is the video for today. If you guys have any questions regarding the platform of the FJ, feel free to email me or comment down below for any questions. I appreciate you guys. It would help me a lot if you guys subscribe to the channel so I know that you guys are enjoying these type of videos and that my effort is going somewhere. I think we're almost at 400 subscribers, so Let's try to hit that goal of 400 subscribers. I really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate all the love that you guys have shown me recently and since the beginning for those who are the OGs. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, keep innovating and stay hungry, and I'll catch you at the next one. Peace.